Who would be the best person to acquire Warner Brothers? In the last video, we talked about the two worst choices that are unfortunately the most likely, which are Paramount and Netflix. In this video, I'm going to cover the three that probably wouldn't be that bad, and in some cases could end up being pretty good. But like I said in the last video, the best person to acquire Warner Brothers is nobody, because corporate consolidation tends to ruin things. So the best case, nobody, but if someone has to, here's a top three. There have been some rumors that Comcast might be interested, and honestly, that might not be too bad. They could obviously incorporate more of Warner Brothers IPs into their theme parks. Universal Studios seem to be rapidly expanding. They already have Harry Potter there, but it'd be cool if we got some stuff like Lord of the Rings or DC integrated into some of the parks in Orlando and Hollywood and around the world. Also, hopefully this means they could combine Peacock with HBO, because Peacock's got some pretty good shows and movies, but I'm just not going to pay for another streaming service. Like, Peacock is just ironically the feather that breaks the back on me buying new streaming services. Next up is Apple, and I think this would actually work out really well. First of all, I don't see Apple changing the general practices of Warner Brothers. Like, I don't see them going in and meddling with what they're doing with DC or the indie films that they've got coming up. Apple TV seems to have a pretty good read for quality when it comes to the projects that they choose to greenlight, and I think that would pair really well with what Warner Brothers and HBO already have going on. And also solves Apple's biggest problem, which is that the Apple TV shows are legitimately some of the best things on streaming services right now, but just nobody subscribed to Apple Plus. So if you move the Apple TV shows into HBO, one, a lot more people would see them, and two, HBO kind of used to be synonymous with prestige television. They're not as much anymore, but Apple TV is, so it would kind of bring that prestige back to HBO, and I think it would just be really good for the projects they have going on in their streaming services in general. Last up would be Sony, and I don't know if they're interested or if they even have the money to acquire Warner Brothers. But I do think this could work out pretty well. Sony has talked about the fact that they don't have a whole lot of IP for film. They're trying to rectify that by moving a lot of the PlayStation IPs into film and television. But outside of Spider-Man, they just don't really have that much, which I think is why they're trying to milk Spider-Man so hard. But I don't think that their treatment of Spider-Man is indicative of how they would handle other IPs if they had access to them. I can see them being relatively hands-off with what DC's got going on because it's working for them, and just continuing to let other stuff like Sinners and One Battle After Another be made without too much interference. But then there would also be the gaming side of things, because Sony and Warner Brothers are the only legacy film studios that also have a gaming division. So Sony would have something to actually do with the gaming studios that they'd also acquire in this deal. And considering how mismanaged the gaming side of Warner Brothers has been over the last 10 years, this could only be a good thing, because PlayStation is really good at running game studios. I understand a lot of people would be concerned about certain things like